Welcome back, loyal listeners. You're listening to Into the Riot. Your Claret-and-Cobalt extended their unbeaten run to 5 matches with a commanding 3-1 win over Sporting Kansas City at America First Field. Their early dominance, youth brilliance, and relentless pressure defined a match where RSL looked sharper, faster, and far more confident than their Western Conference rivals. Kevin, I believe we have everything about this match you're going to need. We're hitting the point of no return here, man. Are you ready?
Let's riot.
Welcome back into the Riot. Yesterday in Sandy, Real Salt Lake didn't just beat Sporting Kansas City, they outclassed them. Diego Luna opened the match with an early goal. Gozo ends it with a late one. As we've talked about for the last 8 or 9 weeks, RSL's youth movement took center stage and never let go of this match. Sergi Solans finally got the goal he'd been flirting with all day long. The press suffocated Sporting Kansas City, and the unbeaten and RSL's unbeaten streak rolls on to 5. This team, Kevin, is playing with swagger, confidence, and a whole lot of bite. Let's break down this match and have fun doing it. I thought this match was going to be a trap match, just for the fact of, okay, well, Sporting Kansas City, they're kind of in a rebuilding year, and the fact that they've been struggling all season so far. What did you think going into this?
You know, it's I think it's scary to go into any rivalry game. But so yeah, I was I was a little nervous, but I felt pretty confident that the team had what it takes to beat them. It was kind of cool to hear, but the post game interview, they asked Luna, pretty much the same thing. Not really that it was a trap game, but they asked him, this was the result that everyone was expecting, how did you feel about that and everything? And he was just basically saying that it doesn't matter if you're a last place team or a first place team. The MLS these are all tough teams and you can't take any of them for granted. And I think they did a good job at keeping their composure and getting their win.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thought when I was watching the first half. I'm thinking all these chances they've had, and it's only 1-0 after Luna's goal, and it was that for the rest of the half.
Yeah.
And I just keep thinking and telling myself, it's like, this is professional soccer,
Oh yeah.
and they're gonna fight. Their job is to win games, and they're gonna fight to do that. And that's, the opposition's always the the strongest thing in any game, any match that you're ever going to play. Let's move on to the first half. Let's talk about Diego Luna, who announced his return in very dramatic fashion in the 4th minute at America First Stadium. First goal of the season for old Moon Boy.
Yeah.
What did the stadium sound like when he put that and tickled the net?
it was crazy because everyone is excited that he was starting, and then 4 minutes into it and he gets that goal, and he runs over to actually our side that we were on, and he's just hyping the crowd up, trying to get him loud, and but yeah, it was electric and it was fun. The crowd was crazy.
Yeah, it looked like. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I was shoveling rock while Kevin was driving and eating lunch to get ready for the RSL game. I got to watch it dozing off and being sore on TV, but it did sound electric. It did look amazing. It was a pretty cool sight. So in the first half, after that goal, I noticed that there was no air to breathe for Sporting Kansas City.
No.
the midfield and RSL had such defensive control over that, especially the first half. It was suffocating. What did you see from your viewpoint?
Well, it was crazy because we were kind of looking at when it hit halftime. We looked to see what the possession was looking like because it seemed like we had the majority of it, but it still was. It wasn't 50-50, but it was close. But I think what was suffocating about it was even if Kansas City had the ball, it was in their half. They could not get it out of their half, and yeah, RSL they totally dominated that first half, though.
Yeah, you don't see that kind of a defensive performance, I don't think, very often in professional soccer or professional football. The opposition always crosses the midline. They always have their fair share of chances. This looked like a youth game. This looked like, a 10, 8-year-old soccer match where one team was just completely dominant of the other, and they never crossed. If they did cross the midline of RSL's into their half, it was maybe 3 or 4 times in that half.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty much a dominant performance by RSL.
Yeah, it had been pretty boring for Cabral that first half.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think he saved one shot the entire first half.
Yeah, and it was a good save. He had to work for it, so
Yeah, it was he had to make an actual save.
yep.
Well, Sporting Kansas City's head coach Raphael Wicki, he even admitted the players just didn't want the ball under pressure. And that's all there was. Real Salt Lake did not let up. It was, I used this word 3 times already, but it was suffocating. And there was no space at all.
No.
In that first half. The second half, we'll move on. Sergi finally breaks through. My gosh, that kid, did he hit the crossbar twice?
He did, yep. The top, yep.
It was kind of crazy, but it finally broke open for him when Giluvagi had this cheeky little back heel pass to a sprinting Gozo who carried the ball down, took the ball just a few steps wide to the right and then came back into it. When this happened, you could kind of see his defender go with him, and also Solon's defender kind of moved to the middle a little bit more. Gozo came back, put this gorgeous ball in, and Sergi just cuts the ball back and puts it past the keeper. It was really quite an elegant piece of soccer, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, that back heel was that was something special. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it was. Sergi could have had. I think we talked about it. He could have had a hat trick easy if those goals go in. Maybe even 4 goals.
Oh yeah, he had that 1-on-1. He had the 2 that hit the crossbar. Yeah, he could have had 4 goals at least.
Yeah, it was crazy. Shortly after that, about 4 minutes later, Sporting Kansas City responds immediately. Joveljić pulls one back for Kansas City, making it 2-1. Kevin, break down that, if you remember it all, break down that goal for me, because I've got my own opinion and I'll share it with you. But what do you think happened on that goal?
I do. I don't know if I remember how it all worked out. I do think that there was a little bit of a breakdown in the defense.
Yeah, there was.
And I was gonna say that this game, well, with Sergi and then this goal, we were kind of thinking that maybe it was like a one of those goalpost contests, because Sergi hitting those 2, and then this goal hit the side post and went in. But it was a beautiful shot. But yeah, I can't remember exactly how the whole play worked out.
And I think this is what happens with this formation a little bit is the defenders have to be a lot like midfielders. When they get the ball at their feet, they have to keep the ball moving. Luka Engel, he had the ball and he was kind of moving it around, which he does, and he's had success doing it, but he got caught. He got caught up and he got tackled and he went down. And um when a defender goes down, that means that there's a one less defender back there, and everything becomes chaos, and it moves faster, and it's just hard to be compact and organized when that happens. And Joveljić, he's a great player, man. He's a striker for a reason, and he puts those balls in the net when he can. And Kansas City didn't have very many chances, but he took that chance and put that thing away.
Yeah.
So, man, if they can just tighten up, if they can just realize, and I'm not picking on Engel because he's been a solid player for us so far this season, but we just need to get those balls off our feet. I mean, we play it out wide every single time, and then there's one little, I don't know, maybe we got a little overconfident being up 2-0. But that's just the nature of the game.
Yep.
And then late in the game, our little old 19-year-old Gozo puts a banger in from on top, just on top of the 18. Now I'm not really sure if he meant to flip that ball up to himself and take a volley, but it sure looked like it. Kevin, what's your take?
Well, if he didn't mean to, he has pretty good reactions, because to be able to accidentally pop that up and then volley that thing like he did, that's pretty special stuff. But either way, what a goal!
Yeah, it was. I told my son, says that was a pretty world-class goal. And he looked at it, he says, that was a good goal. I'm not sure if it was world-class. And I says, well, what do you mean? He says, well, I don't think Gozo's world-class yet. And I says, that's probably true, but the goal was world-class. And he's, yeah, that's probably bad. But he watches a lot of English Premier League, and it is a different game for sure.
Yep.
I think this match was a real indicator of what we've been talking about all season. And that is Real Salt Lake's youth movement is the real deal. I mean, you have Luna, Goza, Solans all combining for the goals today, or in this match. Luna's the only one with any MLS real experience. Gozo has a little bit. Solans is a rookie out of UCLA. Their pace and creativity, not just from these three, but from the entire team, just overwhelmed Kansas City in this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the question. Is Zavier Gozo already RSL's most dangerous attacker? Or is he just on a hot streak? Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, you're good. Sorry. I mean, he's definitely one of them. And I mean, even last year he was scoring goals. It's, and this year he's got 2, right? 2 is what he has now,
I believe.
And Solans has 3. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely one of our better strikers, that's for sure.
Well, I think you take the word striker out and you just put attacker in. I think he's got to be, because I think he's got 2 assists on the season too.
Yeah.
He's just so dangerous because he can do so many things well, and he can defend. He's a defender now.
It's crazy because I again in the post game interviews, Gozo was interviewed and they asked him about this position, and they asked him what he's liking better excuse me, defending or attacking. He says obviously he wants to attack, but he's like, if the team needs me to defend, I'm going to defend. And It's just it really is crazy to see how this kid has grown. Just the skills that he has as an all-around football player.
Yeah, I think that's the attitude that they're all taking is like, if the team needs it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty for a young team, it's a pretty mature attitude to take. So Kansas City, they had a big crash and collapse of their confidence early in this game. That early goal by Luna, I think, really probably took them out of sorts. But even in the first 3 minutes, you could just see this whirlwind, and you just saw the Kansas City players just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
They gave the ball up so many times in their own half. I mean, as soon as they gained possession, it looked like the RSL was playing with 14 guys on the field. I mean, they played, and you could kind of see them RSL wear down at the end of the game, but it didn't matter because Kansas City was tired by halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas City's coach again, Wiki, he called it impossible to win playing like that, and what he meant by is playing like you're giving up the ball in your own half. The thing of it is it wasn't just their own half; it was their own defensive third half the time.
Yeah.
And RSL could have won this game 8-0
Oh yeah.
if they would just put shots away. And we've talked about this our last episode, maybe the last two episodes. They just got to be better on finishing. They were better, but it could have been better.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's probably more than this, but the third game in a row that I've really been looking at their shots that they've had over 20 shots in the game, and we only had 7 on target this game. I mean, if we could get at least the shots on target up over 50%, we're putting more away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. So did Real Salt Lake win because of their brilliant play or because Sporting Kansas City completely folded under their pressure?
I think they won because of their brilliant play. I mean, if it wasn't for their play, I don't think Kansas City falls under pressure. So
Yeah.
I think you got to give the credit to their play and just how they came out and put the pressure on right away.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm going to answer that question, both. I mean, because
Yeah.
that's how they play. That they have such the high pressure isn't just high intensity, high tempo. It's high up the field,
Yeah.
and they're winning a lot of balls in dangerous places. Before we go into the final question of today, I just want to kind of go through some highlights that I threw down on some notes. The passing of RSL, Kevin. How good is it?
It's the best I've seen for some time. Like it's so crisp. It's so just the passing has been I've said it before, but it's just been immaculate. It's been so pretty
Yeah.
to watch.
I think it's the best since the Beckerman and Raimondo days. And
Yeah.
back in those days, they didn't go to goal. They were a possession team, and they had 65% possession almost every match.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit different style of play, where I believe if we look at some stats, they didn't win the possession game. They had 49% to Kansas City's 51.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had 1,000% more shots and shots on target. It felt like, I mean, they had 22 overall shots to Kansas City's 5, and they had 7 on target, which having 7 shots on target and 3 go in, that's almost half.
Yeah.
It's almost half. And they had 43 touches in the box. In Kansas
I was just
City's
gonna
box.
bring that up.
43 freaking touches. That is I mean, you talk to my son, it's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 English Premier League does. Yeah, okay. Different level of play for sure. But at MLS, 43 touches in your opponent's box, you're gonna win a lot of games like that.
Yeah, and there was one thing even the fans around me talking about all those touches in the box. Sometimes we had too many passes in the box. We were thinking that there was a few times it's just like shoot the ball. Like you're open,
Yeah.
shoot the ball. You don't need to be selfish or
Gilavagi
maybe
had one.
yeah. And so did
The
Luna. Luna had one that he could have cracked and he passed off, but I mean, and they're trying to create chances and they're being they're trying to be a team and I get it, but sometimes you just got to take it.
Now every time you're in the box and you have time to take a shot, you take it.
Yeah.
And they just and maybe they need to be more selfish.
Right.
Well, it's not maybe they need to.
Yeah.
They just need to. Defending the set pieces were much better.
Mhm.
They didn't have very many to defend, but they had a few corners, and that was good to see that they were able to defend those a little bit better. If you could change, this is something and we'll finish up after this, but this is just a hypothetical question. If you could change one thing about Luna, what would it be? Because I have mine,
Oof.
and it's really picky.
Geez, I don't know. It's kind of tough for me. I'm not real sure. I don't know.
Okay, are you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Very nitpicky, and he probably thinks this too. I'm just going out on a limb on that. I wish he was 2 inches taller. Because there were so many times where there was balls played into him. They weren't perfect. They weren't right to his feet,
Right.
but he stretched out and he just barely missed it. Just
Yeah.
barely missed it because man, that guy, he can motor and he can get around that field and he never stops and he's always putting pressure on the opponent. But man, I
Yep.
wish he had just an inch or two more on at least his legs so he could snatch up those incoming passes and do something with them because he just adds so much creativity to this team.
Yep.
They
Yeah, he
they
does.
they looked very similar to the team that they've been for the first 4 matches, but on Saturday they looked a little bit different. And that's because Luna was out there.
Yep.
So Kevin, what does this win actually mean for Real Salt Lake's season?
Well, I mean, it keeps their streak going and it keeps them hot. I don't know. It's always good to have these kind of streaks for the team. I mean, it brings in positive vibes. They talked a lot about that in the dressing room, just having the vibes. Nothing but good.
For sure. I think this win, everybody's probably saying, "Oh, Mike, geez, it was Sporting Kansas City. They're the bottom of the table, and this wasn't really that big of a win." I think it was a big win because this is a game they could have overlooked. This is a game that they could have taken it easier on this international break and had a good time at practice, and I'm sure they do because I follow them pretty closely with pictures and video and all that stuff, and they look like they have such a good time. And I wish I was a professional soccer player in the MLS because that would be, who would want to play soccer 8 hours a day?
Right.
But I think this was an important win because this to me tells me that Pablo has those boys focused, and the guys on this squad are focused, and they're ready to hopefully slay giants. I'm looking forward to playing some of these bigger teams because it's coming. They're
Oh yeah.
they're right around the corner, and I'm excited to see what they can do against them because they're playing just like the big boys in this league.
Yep.
Well, Kevin, that's going to do it for this one. Great match. RSL rolls over Sporting Kansas City again. The unbeaten streak continues to go to 5 matches now. The youth movement just keeps gaining experience, and that's going to be so big for this club.
Yep.
Luna's back. Solans is freaking cooking. And if that
Yes,
guy
he is.
could take 2 inches off the height of his shots, he's going to be the leading.
Yep.
He's going to be the leading goal scorer of this league. He could.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he could.
he's on pace. He's sticking up with the top goal scorers.
Yeah.
And man, Gozo, the 19-year-old, he's turning into a problem
Yes, he is.
for the rest of the league. Not RSL, not Real Salt Lake, but the rest of the Western Conference, the rest of the MLS. He's turning into a huge problem.
Yep.
Well, that's all we have for this. If you've got takes, if you think we're overreacting or not reacting enough, hit us up. Drop your thoughts. Tag the show. Tell a friend who they need to join Into the Riot. We'll be back next match day. Next week, we don't have a match. Is that right, Kevin?
Yeah, no match this weekend.
What are we going to talk about? Guess we'll have to come up with something.
Yeah, we'll have something.
All right. Bring the same energy, same chaos, same unapologetic RSL talk. Until then, keep the drums loud, keep the flags high, and always stay in the riot. Until next time, stay loud, stay loyal, stay into the riot.
Vamos Real.